Team Arrow gets the DNA results back from Star Labs, and it's revealed that the killer must be Oliver because the arrow had Oliver's DNA on it. So insert dramatic commercial break, and in this episode we have Dinah Lance running around. Dinah Lance, Laurel's mom, and Laurel reveals to her that Sarah was murdered, and Dinah tells Laurel to make them pay and to make them suffer. So Dinah is apparently a psychopath, which I guess will explain why her two daughters turned out to be murderers. I guess so. Yeah, Dinah Lance, I guess, is some kind of psychopath that wants her daughter to murder and torture people. Why not? Yeah, sure, why not? Makes it just about as much sense as anything else that happens in this episode. So, getting back to the main plot, they believe that Merlin somehow got the DNA on the arrow. So they look into these flight records, and then Oliver interrogates Merlin's pilot, and they manage to find out that Merlin was in Starling City at the time of Sarah's murder, and not only was he there, but Thea was there with him. So they, figure out that the killer must have been, in fact, Thea. And, call me ignorant, I don't understand how DNA works and stuff, but does it, like, not give you an exact match, or it only, is it, I guess it just narrows it down to family, I guess. So, but the thing is, it's a moot point because in season one, someone pointed this out. In season one, both Oliver and Thea were arrested, so their DNA should be on file with SCPD. So why doesn't Felicity, who, remember, she has, she's a supercomputer hacker genius who created a virus that could uh, hack into any computer over any network just by merely infecting it. Why didn't they cross match the results with fucking with the DNA SCPD database or whatever, right? Wouldn't that make things a lot less complicated? Shouldn't they have known to do that? Are they that ignorant of how the police work and things? So uh so yeah, of course. So this means that Thea lied to Oliver about Merlin. So Oliver goes and asks Thea about Merlin again, and spending time with him and doing stuff with him. And again, she just denies it. So back in the Parbat, Roz orders Nisa to teach Oliver a lesson, and that they mean business. Back at the Arrow Cave now, Oliver insists that Thea couldn't have done it. Diggle and Oliver get into a fight. Um, Felicity says Oliver's the wrong person questioning Thea. So, yeah, so, of course that would imply, Green Arrow should be questioning her, so, and that he does. So, Green Arrow interrogates Thea, but, not the typical Arrow interrogation with throwing an arrow through her leg or anything, but. So, Thea fights him off to Oliver's surprise, and she escapes. Oliver finds Merlin at the club, and Merlin shows Oliver a video of Thea killing Sarah, and he reveals he managed to get her to do this by using mind control drugs. So Merlin gives that this would give Oliver an incentive to go tell Roz that he was the one who killed Sarah. And then Oliver would then challenge Roz to a trial by combat. And in this trial by combat, Oliver would kill Roz and then call off the hit on Merlin. Yeah, I'm trying to not comment on this. Okay, we'll get to the end. So he goes to Oliver goes to Nan the Parbat and does exactly what Merlin tells him to do because just like in episode 4, he just implicitly trusts Merlin for some reason. Who fucking knows? Why? It makes no fucking sense, but hey, he just takes orders from Merlin for some reason. And so but before that happens, uh Maceo tells Oliver he has 12 hours to get his affairs in order. Um, so before the big fight, he talks to Thea, and he still refuses to expose his identity to her. Just continues to lie to her, and what, she hasn't figured it out by now, really. And Felicity meets with DC's Iron Man, demands to know why he purchased Queen Consolidated, and she says she wants. He says he wants to use the technology at Queen Consolidated to help make weapons to protect Starling City. To which she says, "Why does this keep happening to me?" And again, we get to our second eye-rolling moment of the episode. It's like, really, she becomes friends with yet another vigilante in Starling City. What are the fucking odds, really? Uh, so after that, Felicity learns what's up with Oliver, tells Oliver he must win in this fight. So he goes to fight Ra's al Ghul, shirtless on a mountain, because we gotta get that Batman reference in there. And so there's a sword fight. They're shirtless. Ra's gives a grandiose speech about replacing evil with death and stuff, which is really cool. But whatever. The scene sucks anyway. So Oliver starts off with 2 swords, starts fighting Ra's. Ra's eventually is such a badass that eventually gets a hold of the 2 swords, and he stabs Oliver in the torso, slits his throat, throws him off the mountain, and kills him. He definitively kills him because obviously no one would be able to survive this. Nobody. And we know that Oliver, despite the fact that he's supposed to be the equivalent of Batman in this fucking universe, which means he's basically God, but we're supposed to believe he's just a mortal man who just happens to have really good training, who's been through a lot of shit. So he definitely dies. He definitely dies. Keep that in mind. So he's definitely dead. he definitely died here. The stab to the chest, well, the torso would have killed him. Slitting his throat would have killed him. Falling off the fucking mountain would have killed him. And if barring all those things, just him laying around in fucking cold ass mountain for a while, the hypothermia would have killed him. So he dies. Okay. So yes. So yeah, just a thing I forgot to mention. The episode title is called The Climb, and this is a reference to a Miley Cyrus song instead of the typical reference to something in DC lore, as a lot of these episodes have. Miley Cyrus song. I don't know, like, why. Um, I really, if you haven't watched this episode yet, I'd warn you to refrain from because you may get brain cancer. And going back to the comment I made in the very first video about let's get M Night Shyamalan and Tommy Wiseau and George Lucas together to write a season of '60s Batman. That sums up this episode. Maybe not the Tommy Wiseau stuff so much. It didn't exactly have inane dialogue, but it had the George Lucas fucking don't question anything, just go with it, fuck it, just go with it. Shit. It had like the M Night Shyamalan, what a twist with the fucking, it was Theo all along, and then it actually has a dash of fucking Kurt Sutter, fucking Sons of Anarchy, forced drama bullshit, but we'll get to that. And kind of to kind of illustrate how horribly this fucking show has fallen in the last few episodes. I'll leave links in the description to one of those after shows I've mentioned before. They're talking about the first link is a random episode from season 2, and they're talking about how awesome it is. Then I have a link to the after show about this episode, and they're at a loss for words. They don't even know where to begin to start. That's just like where to start to talk about all the fucking problems with the fucking episode. So I'm much the same way. I'm at a loss, like to where to even fucking start, where to begin the ridiculousness. But yeah, let's for I guess I'll just start at the murder mystery. That really wasn't a murder mystery because it was so straightforward. It was retarded. So it's revealed that it was Merlin. Yeah, okay, it was Thea with mind control drugs, and we'll get into the mind control drugs and how fucking stupid that is. But it's fucking mind controlled Thea, which it's Merlin, right? It's Merlin. Merlin did it, just as Nisa was insisting in episode 4 that that was Merlin. But for some reason, Oliver didn't think it could be him. And he didn't. Oh, he swore on Thea's life or something. Like that was good enough reason. I thought they were playing it as though Oliver believed that it wasn't Merlin, but that he was keeping Merlin around because he still thought that Merlin had something to do with it. That's how I thought they were playing it, but I guess it wasn't even that. I guess Oliver was really just that stupid. I guess he really genuinely thought Merlin had nothing to do with it. I mean, really, guys. I mean, it's so straightforward. There's no mystery to it. We know that early on in season 2 that the League was hunting Merlin down. And that Merlin was still around. Merlin was in Starling City. The League caught up with him. They sent Sarah out to investigate because they knew that he was there. And Merlin got wind of this, and he killed her. It's that straightforward. What's the mystery, guys? What the fuck was the mystery? That's not a mystery. It's almost as though they took like a straightforward plot, like they were plotting out the season. Then they decided, oh well, we'll just take this plot point and to drag it out because we know this story sucks. We know we're just like twiddling our thumbs to the season 4. And we really don't want to think about Arrow right now because we're focusing on the Flash and all this other bullshit. Let's make this a murder mystery. And we got to get Sarah Lance killed so we can have Laurel become Black Canary because we got to get the match up with the comics. Here's a question. Why couldn't they both be Black Canary? I mean, they already diverge enough from the comic book canon. Why can't there be 2 Black Canaries? Why do we have to kill Sarah to get Laurel to be Black Canary? And piss off all of the Sarah Lance Black Canary characters, fans in the like why? Why do that? Why do that to the fans just to piss them off? And it's actually funny. They screened the season 3, episode 1. I think it was some sort of press screening or something. And at the end of the episode, everyone there, all the media there, they all booed like jokingly. They should screen fucking season 4, episode 1. The media should still boo them.